Hi, I'm Zach from Corexcell. Today we're going to show you how to fix elbow pain, okay? So this applies to someone that if you're doing like a tricep extension and you feel pain like right in the center of the elbow, and also a pitcher if they start getting the elbow pain like right on the side here, okay, that Tommy John's surgery area here, we're going to show you how the exercise that we use can fix both. But before we do, we're going to go into a testimonial from a pitcher that I fixed with elbow pain here. And also, I'm going to talk about myself and the elbow pain I had here that I was able to fix.
I'd say almost over a year now. I heard it last fall, and then it just hasn't gone away really.
And now you've been here for 6 sessions, and you threw for the first time yesterday. How'd you feel?
Felt really good. I didn't feel anything.
No pain at all yesterday throwing?
Yeah, no pain.
After 6 sessions?
So I was a nationally ranked tennis player, okay? And from basically 10 years old all the way up to my early 20s, I was playing like 4 or 5 hours a day, okay? And so what happened is I'm constantly doing this. So the front of my deltoid here got highly developed, okay? And what happened is the rear delt, and when I say rear delt, I'm really talking about, I'm going to take my shirt off here just so you can see. I'm really talking about this section of the rear delt. I really break the rear delt down in 2 or 3 parts, okay? Because there's some exercise that hit different areas. But I'm talking about this little piece, like right in through here, okay? The lower piece that kind of runs over the infraspinatus. Here's the rear delt right here. See this little piece right here? That's what we're concentrating on. And here's the infraspinatus. See how it runs right over it, okay? So this is going to have the most effect on basically being able to access the infraspinatus efficiently. That was like, I literally had no muscle here. It was like flat, okay? So this took a very long time to develop with the exercise that we're going to show you. But what would happen is when I was benching or I would start doing like extensions like this, all the pressure will go on to the center, okay, of my elbow here. And the reason is so if we look at the tricep, okay, if we look at it, if we're doing arm extension, the tricep is going to work with the rear delt in extension here. Okay, when you do this, you're just using your tricep. Okay. However, if you don't have the support, okay, from that piece of the rear delt here, when you're doing any type of tricep work this way, your extensions, then what happens is the bottom piece of that tricep is going to have to overwork and start just pulling onto the elbow. Okay, because it doesn't have support from the rear delt. And all the torque then goes right here, okay? So what I'm saying is in order to fix elbow pain, the key is fixing this piece of the rear delt right here. We're going to show you that. So as far as pitchers go, okay, and the elbow pain here, it's the same muscle, okay, but we got to look, to fix this, it's the same muscle. This is the key. Okay, but we got to look at it a little bit differently, okay? So when we accelerate with our arm here, when we're throwing, we're using our internal rotator cuffs. When we get done with the release, a lot of the therapists now are talking about how when you release, if you have a weakness in your external rotator cuffs, you don't de-accelerate as efficiently, and that's when you start getting shoulder pain, and that's when you also start getting elbow pain here, okay? So your main external rotators, okay, posterior delt right here. We hide that, okay, we're looking at the infraspinatus, teres minor, okay. And then also if we hide this, your supraspinatus, which I'm not really concerned about. So what I've seen is, I've seen a lot of pitchers and what they do is they do this to strengthen the infraspinatus. And then what they also have you do is in order to address the rhomboids and also to address the rear delt, they'll have you do scap work where you go like this, okay. But what happens is no matter how many times you do those exercises, you are not targeting this piece of the rear delt. This piece here is the key. Once this is fixed here, then you can have full access. Even if you're not doing external rotator cuffs, you get that rear delt strong. When you go back into doing any type of external rotator cuff work, it's going to be much stronger, and your infraspinatus, you're going to be able to access the infraspinatus. And now all your muscles are going to be functioning in unison when you go to deaccelerate. So what I'm saying is, if this part of your rear delt is underdeveloped, every time you go to throw, okay, when you release, your accelerators aren't working in unison, and all the pressure, okay, is going to go into this part of your elbow right here. So with this technique, okay, we're pulling both arms at the same time, so our arms track correctly, okay? but all the pressure is going to be on one side. So I have the dumbbell on the left, that's the delt I'm working. The reason we're not going to do 2 arms at once is because then what happens is you start overworking your traps and your rhomboids, okay? That's why doing 1 arm, it allows us to really attack the rear delt, and it's a lot less likely to use your traps and your rhomboids. So pants pull is very simple. It's like we're pulling up our pants, okay? Just want to have a slight lean forward, not too far forward here, just a little bit of a lean here forward. And all you're going to do is see how I stay in the center line of my hips, okay? Right to there. And just pull up right through the center of the hip, okay? Try to feel that delt working, just like that. And notice how my elbows are out, okay? I'm not in like this. This is what a lot of people are gonna do. Elbows are out, pull, and my hand just tilted a little bit forward this way, and then I just pull right through the center of the hip. See, I'm not coming up that far right now, okay? We're gonna show you the next step, but this is how, because if you come up too far in the initial stages, you're gonna wanna shrug and round. You're gonna get a lot more trap and a lot less rear delt. So this is how we start people off, just to here, to really learn how to use their delt. This is the advancement to the pants pulls. Okay, so we were just teaching you to stay in line, okay, with your hand with the center of the hip, okay? As you get better, find the top of your hip bone here, okay, and your wrist right here, okay, right where the hand meets the wrist, right here. We want to take that and we want to go back behind our hip a little bit, and we want to end up in this position here. So we're here. So I go back behind the hip, okay, and I can get my wrist, okay, in line with the top of the hip. And that's what we're looking for, okay, with 8 to 10 pounds. I don't feel any trap. I feel all delt. And that's how you know that you passed the test with this exercise. So once we build up the rear delt, okay, you pass that test there with that exercise, then we start focusing on the infraspinatus, okay? So this is the next stage for adding extra exercise in and start building up the full rotator cuff to take total pressure off the elbow. And all he's doing with this technique is just going on an incline, he's coming out, and we're going hammer position so he can really stretch this back. If you go flat, you're not gonna be able to stretch it back as much. So we're stretching out the internal rotators by using the strength of the infraspinatus, okay, and also the rear delt with this exercise here. And if you want to learn how to really do this exercise and other exercises we have for the shoulder, our complete shoulder program, click on the link in the details of the video, Corexcell, okay? And there's also some free sample exercise in there with some other rear delt exercises you haven't seen today. So this is another exercise, okay, that we use when the delt's built up. And what I like about this is it's going to build up the rhomboids, and it's also going to build up the teres major, okay? So you're getting the rear delt, the teres major, the rhomboid, and he's only pulling back like 3/4. Okay, if you pull back too deep, go ahead, pull back deep. That's not bad. You're going to round, but also it's going to get a lot more lat, okay? The concentration on this technique is really, we're just trying to go 3/4 and get into the delt and the teres. And again, if you want to see more of these exercises, check out the Corexcell link, and you can also do private sessions with me to get fully fixed.